Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of RSA. Hope you're having a good conference to those who are going. I'm Bill Brenner, VP of Content Strategy at Cyber Risk Alliance and Security Weekly, and I am very pleased to be joined here by Ashley Leonard, Chief Executive Officer of 6 Sense. Welcome.
Thank you, glad to be here.
How is it going for you so far?
It's been a great show so far. It's great to meet so many people here. It's a big show, but a small industry, so it's great to reconnect with so many friends.
Now, my first question, 6 Sense has been around for 10 years or so. But a lot of people have asked the question, what's behind the name? So talk about that.
Yeah, the name 6 Sense comes from, well, that feeling that you know something's going on. And at 6 Sense, what we try and do is to help our customers actually uncover what is actually going on all of their endpoints. So that's kind of the origin of the name 6 Sense.
Very good. And so you're in the business of unified security for the endpoint. So to that end, talk about what you see as the 2-3 biggest challenges these days when it comes to the endpoint.
Yeah, so yeah, quite right, Bill. 6 Sense is a unified security and endpoint management platform. And so what we've done is to help our customers, first of all, identify all the assets that are connected to the network or are used in the organization as the world's changed with COVID, home working. It's a challenge actually understanding what you have to manage. So we help organizations, again, discover all their IT assets and then bring them under management and be able to provide unified endpoint management capabilities for them, whether it's kind of Windows, Mac, Linux, even mobile devices, iOS, Android, IoT devices. All of that can be done in a single pane of glass. But then unify that with security as well. So not only are we able to kind of help our customers ensure that their devices are patched, and as we know, that's often one of the major areas that a breach occurs is through unpatched devices, but we actually can scan those devices looking for security vulnerabilities as well. And being a unified platform, Bill, we're able to leverage the management capabilities with the security capabilities, so not just report on security problems for our customers, but actually use the management engine to go ahead and remediate the security configuration challenges. So that might involve shutting off ports or making registry changes versus applying patches, which we also do.
Yeah, so 10 years, the last 3 years have been interesting.
They have.
As you noted, with the pandemic. Talk to me about how in the last 3 years things have changed. So we've heard a lot about, we've seen a lot of companies rushing into the cloud to keep their workforces on track. And now we're on the other side of the pandemic, but now it's settled into more of a hybrid. Talk about what kind of complexities that causes that maybe might not have been on your radar when 6 Sense was starting out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were built for the cloud, first of all, so that made that transition for our customers very simple. Certainly some of the legacy on-premise platforms had challenges, right? Because you were having to send a lot of data down VPNs and it was just crushing the network. So when the COVID happened, we were very well positioned to help our customers. Now, obviously today things have changed and hybrid is the new norm. But what's been interesting, I think, there is that you've got these devices, laptops, whatever, that have been at people's homes, connected to the home network. Children are on those same networks. Who knows where they're going, which websites they're visiting. So these devices are potentially being exposed to security risks while they are at home. And then, on that day or 2 days a week that you're coming back into the office, you pick that device up, you bring it in, plug it straight into the network, and you've got a potential security issue to deal with now inside the corporate firewall. And I think that's where COVID and the hybrid work environment has really impacted the ways that companies need to think about security. Because you can't think about this kind of hard shell that we used to think about, right, where the firewall was protecting the organization, but inside you had this soft center that was exposed. So you've got to think about the security posture of all your devices, but also in relationship to where that device is currently. Maybe you handle that endpoint differently when it's at home versus when it's inside the corporate infrastructure.
So when customers are talking to you, customers and prospective customers, what are the biggest pain points they come to you with? So we know what the risks are out there. We've just talked about the risks that come with mixing personal devices with work devices and having kids working on laptops that are interfacing. But what kind of pain points do you hear about when companies are talking to you about the challenges that they have in keeping their endpoint protection up to where it should be?
Well, that's a great question. There's a lot of them, right? I think that there's a lot of tools out there that help you with endpoint protection. And over on the show floor, there's some great vendors. One of the major challenges that we hear from our customers is that they're actually dealing with too many tools. We did actually some research recently and found a direct correlation between the number of tools you have and the number of breaches. And it's not the way you would think. It's the more tools you have, the more breaches you have. And I think the reason for that is that if you have too many tools in your environment, you can't effectively use the tools that you have. So I think finding the right tools to be able to manage your environment is a major challenge for organizations that we help them with. Next stage of that is quite frankly, it's the people actually running IT departments. There's so many demands on the IT managers, the CISOs today. And so how do you simplify the security and operations of IT? And then how do you automate it so that you can actually do more with the same number of people that you have today, because the threat's continuing to grow. So those are kind of some of the major challenges that we at Sixth Sense are really helping our customers with. Patching and security vulnerability management on a kind of more tactical level as well.
So given the seismic shifts of the last 3 years, what do you see as the next 5 years of endpoint security?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, you can't ask
and
that.
Let me work in. Yep. You know where I was going with this. Artificial intelligence, which is certainly not new, but because people now have access to things like ChatGPT, discussion about the benefits and risks have flared anew.
Oh, for sure.
So with that, how do you see that entering the equation and affecting things in the next 5 years?
Well, we've been doing stuff with AI for actually quite a long time already. But ChatGPT is certainly, well, how should I democratized AI, right? And on both sides, both from the threat actors as well as from the IT professional side. From our side, the way I look at it is that I think there's a number of different areas where AI is impacting our roadmap, and it's going to help our customers. I think every single vendor has to have an AI strategy because the threat actors do. And if you are not leveraging AI on the defensive side, then your customers are going to be exposed. So we're leveraging it in a number of different ways. We're going to have some announcements coming out very shortly, but things around threat prioritization. If you take a look at, we have a lot of signals coming from our endpoints, because of our architecture is pretty unusual in that we have a real-time connection to devices at scale, regardless of where they're located. So we're able to pull threat indicators and signals from endpoints and then correlate that data to help prioritize threat remediation. So we're looking at working on ways that we can actually use AI to really improve how we identify threats within customers' organizations and then help them leverage remediation using our management engine to keep the environment safe and secure.
Great. Now, are you exhibiting?
We are.
Well, here? So tell everybody where you are.
We are in the connector between the two halls at booth 4339.
In the area that used to be a hallway.
It's the high traffic area. We'll say
that. I actually missed that hallway. That's where it was always kind of dark in there, and you could go and take a little nap.
Well, we do have some comfy chairs, so you can come by and sit down and chat to our team.
Very good. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting up with you, and have much success the rest of this week.
Thanks for your time, Bill. Nice to chat.
Until next time. Thank you.
Thank you.